What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chat Room, a podcast dedicated with having interviews with upcoming stars and influencers of our generation. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at thechatroom.tcr and on Twitter at thechatroom_TCR. Also, don't forget to become one of our valued Patreon members, which allows you to unlock exclusive content while also supporting this podcast. Enjoy the episode.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the chat room. Today, your host is Martina, and I've got the wonderful Tanatswa Chikaura here with me. She's a young powerhouse who's passionate about mental health. She's about to graduate with a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Zimbabwe. So without further ado, Tanatswa, how are you doing?
Hey, Martina, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. It's been raining a lot, so that's a bit much, but I'm okay.
Yeah, that's the thing with us. When it wasn't raining, we were complaining. Now it's raining, we're complaining as well. But other than that, have you had a good Saturday? What did you get up to today?
What do you want? Today, I had, I made a cheese board with my friend.
Yes, rich auntie vibes.
So we're talking about boys. Yeah, exactly. You know the life we want, soft life.
Yes, soft life always. That's what it's about. So anyway, let's just jump straight into the questions. A couple of questions that I have for you that will just allow us to interact and allow people to get to know you better. So according to your Instagram bio, you carry quite a number of caps. Like you're out here representing the females. Like you're a director at My State of Mind organization and a presenter for Pachedu Zim, right? And you also have a blog.
That's true.
So I guess first question is, with all these caps, how do you manage your time and the stress that comes with everything?
That's very difficult, if I'm being honest. But
I can imagine.
What keeps me going, are the goals that I've set for myself. Mm-hmm. I want to be the best version of myself in every possible way. Mm-hmm. So when I get tired, I remind myself that, Tanatswa, you're getting tired, my dear. No one is going to push you.
You haven't even started.
You haven't. You have to move. So I just have to remind myself that, the finish line is still very far, but at the same time, I want to enjoy the process and enjoy the journey. Mm-hmm. So I push myself.
Yeah, a lot of people actually focus more on the destination than the actual journey of getting where they want to go, right?
Exactly, that's very true. And it's not worth it if you're not going to enjoy the journey, because if I reach my destination at 40 and I'm 22, that means I've wasted 38 years of my life being miserable. That's a long time.
That is a very long time.
Not 30, 28.
So
28, 18. My is off. 18 years.
18. Final 18. Answer.
18. Not 38, but 18. Okay? Yes.
Got it, ma'am. Got it. So anyway, when you pursued psychology as a degree, what was the end goal? Was the end goal to be sitting across someone in a room and saying, tell me about your childhood, or, those other things that we stereotypically think therapists do? Like, what was the end goal for you when you said, I'm going to study psychology?
Funny story, actually, I didn't want to do psychology. Oh. I didn't even know psychology was a thing in university. When I was in lower 6, I wanted to do law. That's what I wanted.
Oh, okay.
And in my head, I had planned it. I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to be an advocate. I looked for mentors that were in the field of law, people to tell me how I can go about it. I started working towards getting 15 points because I knew that I was going to go to the University of Zimbabwe.
And they're very demanding in terms of things like law, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So I knew if I wanted to get in, I had to get 15 points. And I worked hard, Martina, like, girl.
I can imagine.
And I didn't have 15 points. I thought my world was over. Like, I thought my life was over.
Like, just out of curiosity, it wasn't 15, but what was it?
It wasn't 15, it was 11. And I was 4 points off. And do you know when you feel like...
And you were upset?
I was not only upset, I was broken. Oh. Like, I felt like I was nothing. I felt like I had failed. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. I didn't even I was so confused, and I'm really appreciative of the family I have, my uncle, my parents, and my brother. And I had a conversation with my uncle, and he said to me, Tanatswa, you did very well. And as a family, we're proud of you. If you're not happy, you've got options. Option number one, you go back and you write your A-levels and you try to get those 15 points, you write it again. Or you move on with what you have, you build on that, you look for ways to then do law afterwards, you do another degree. How are you going to work around it? And then my brother told me about psychology, and he told me, have you ever heard of psychology? Do you know human resources? You know, my human resources, he was working at Delta at the time. He was like, my human resources director had a bachelor's in psychology, you can pursue that. And then another road was, you can start psychology, do your first year, get really good points, and see if you can swap. And then do law in the next year. I was like, I'm going to work with that. I'm going to start psychology, work on it, and next year, when I'm starting my second year, I'm going to
switch to law.
The results exactly, and switch to law. First year comes. I go to school. I got my results in January. I started that February. I went to university. It was a different life. I was at Chizzy, and it's an all-girls school, so seeing boys. I was in res. I was in the student residency.
These people exist.
You know, I'm like, exactly. And you know, when you're in university, boys can visit girls. I'm like, excuse them, what's going on?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing? So it was just a different vibe. I started doing psychology. The first test we wrote, I was the highest in my class. I was like, what's going on? This seems cool. Let me try it out. You write your second test. You're killing it. My first semester, I had 5 distinctions. You go to the next one, you've got 3. The next year, my whole second year, I did 12 courses. I had 12 distinctions straight.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was like, okay, I'm good at this program. I actually enjoy what I'm being taught. I enjoy the concepts. I want to know more. I had this desire, there was something in this drive, this urge to know more. I want to understand what's going on. And then I became a mental health advocate. That's how I became a mental health advocate, because I wanted to understand what mental health was about and understand why it's not being recognized in my country, where the gap is, why it's not being recognized in our homes, in politics and law and schools and everything. Yes. I wanted to understand, and that is what pushed me to become a mental health advocate. So, the end goal when I started psychology was to actually swap, but now the end goal is to graduate, do my master's in clinical psychology, open an NGO that advocates for mental health. That is where I see myself going, and actually have a firm practice, get my license, and be a certified clinical psychologist. So it started with swapping the degree and ended with me actually understanding my purpose and knowing what I'm supposed to do. It's all about finding your purpose, especially in university. You need to know what your purpose is within your program.
Definitely. And things have a funny way of working out. I mean, you wanted to do law and become an advocate. Now you're an advocate for mental health. So technically, you are not too far off.
Thank you. This is why I like you.
And mental health is such a big issue, especially in Africa, I believe. Right? In Africa, you find that maybe it's not taken as seriously as in other continents, especially for the male gender, from my own observations. Obviously, as a person who's done the degree, you probably have a different perspective. But the one question I have, and a lot of people often have, is how do we tackle the issues of men fearing speaking up about mental health issues because they don't want to be viewed as being weak?
You know what? Thank you so much for asking that question, because this is a topic, it's an ongoing topic right now, especially in Zimbabwe after the death of Soldier Love. May his soul rest in peace. Yeah. You see people that are talking about how he spoke about how he felt in his music. You have people that are saying that he didn't get the attention he needed before and people ignored him. And I feel like that comes from the whole idea that a man is strong, a man cannot cry, a man cannot complain. You are the head of the house. We live in a patriarchal society. So you're just seen as this man made of steel. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can break you. You're supposed to hold everything together. And that's the foundation that has been laid for us growing up. And even if we do try to say, no, we can't say that, even our own generation, we're still passing it down to younger generations. So we need to teach kids from a very young age that it is okay to talk about how you feel, no matter your gender, no matter whether you're male, whether you're female. If you're not okay, talk. And also, as a society, we need to learn to listen. That is a skill most people do not have. There are two things people should be taught growing up. Two very important skills: listening and having empathy. You should be able to listen and be empathetic. If you have those two skills, you can never be able to help someone, because in every situation you face, if you cannot listen to what I'm saying and you cannot be empathetic and put yourself in my shoes, everything you're going to be defensive. You're going to say, I'm ndakajaidzwa. You're going to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. You're going to say, you do it on purpose. You will never truly understand where I am coming from.
That's
and unfortunately, men are disadvantaged. No one can be empathetic to a man. I mean, you walk around, you've got muscles. If you don't have muscles, but you have these muscles, and we see you as the strong person. If a thief comes in, this person I'm calling is my dad or my brother. So if I then see you breaking down, it becomes a problem.
Yeah. So it's our perception as society as to what these people should be like, right? And this is obviously something that has been built over time. I mean, it didn't just appear overnight. So in the same way, it's not something that's going to go away overnight. We have to continuously train ourselves to be able to listen and give men the empathy that they need and deserve when it comes to mental health issues and how they're feeling and things they're going through, right?
Definitely. We need to be open to hearing what they're saying. We need to ask how they are feeling. Ask how your brother is feeling. Ask how your father is feeling. Ask how your male friend is feeling. Do not just assume. Don't assume. Never make an assumption.
He's fine, and he's a man after all. Hey.
Exactly.
All right.
When I was in my first year, my lecturer used to say, if you're going to make assumptions, you're making a fool of both yourself and the person you're talking to. So always get clarity.
Very, very powerful. And another issue as well when it comes to mental health is us as African children just not being able to open up to our parents as well about things we're going through. You find that many times the response is like, you're complaining. Back in my day, we used to walk 50 kilometers across a river infested with crocodiles to get to school. And, it's like now they're comparing what they went through with what we are going through, and it then comes across as belittling our emotions. So also in that same vein, how do we tackle that issue of the fact that sometimes we want to open up to our parents, but they don't take our mental health issues and our concerns seriously?
This is when advocacy comes in, and parents need to be taught about mental health issues. Parents need to be taught how to listen. They actually need to see the adverts. If they use Facebook more, we need to see those sponsored adverts about mental health and telling them that this is how you should listen to your child. This is how you should treat your child when she's in need or he's in need. So parents actually need to be taught how to talk to their children, because it's very difficult. Not recent. I think about a month ago, it must be a month ago, on Twitter, there was this story that was trending about date rape, about if you go for a sleepover. I don't know if you saw it. A young lady went for a sleepover and then she was raped by her boyfriend. And many people were like, oh, if you go for a sleepover, what is that? And the best friend is the one that was saying these things. The young girl couldn't even open up to her mother that, Mama, Inini, I went to my boyfriend's house. And when I went to my boyfriend's house, he raped me. She couldn't talk about that. She couldn't say any of those things. Instead, she went to a best friend who is also the same age as her. What is she going to do with that type of story?
Yeah.
So as a mother, you need to be with your female child. You need to be able to communicate with your child. Father, male child, you need to be able to communicate with your child. I'm using gender because what you experience as a woman, sometimes you cannot go to a man
and tell
it is impossible. There's certain things that even as a man, there's certain things you experience and you need that male figure to give you guidance, whether it's your sexuality, emotions, maybe perhaps if you're talking about career and all those other things, yes. But if we're talking about biology of a woman, growing up, once I start puberty, I want to understand what's going on. Once you start your menstruation cycle, your mother sits you down and tells you this is what's up. So you need to be open as the mother, to open to your daughter, to talk to your daughter, and as a father to talk to your son without being judgmental.
So basically, once you judge we need safe spaces.
Exactly. In our homes. We need safe spaces in our homes. We need safe spaces in schools. We need safe spaces in our workplaces. You need a safe space everywhere.
Yeah, that's very insightful. And I think it's really great to talk to someone who does this professionally, who has actually graduated. I'm speaking as though it is, because it is, who has already graduated in a degree.
Yes, I refuse.
On this stuff. So, we know that the information that we're getting is solid, and we're really grateful to be able to talk to you about such important issues, because people, the moment they feel a pain in their stomach, they rush to the pharmacy or to the doctor to find out what's wrong. But the moment emotions are off, you don't necessarily give it the attention it deserves. So things like this give people that insight into what exactly could be going on, and that it's okay to not be okay, as they popularly say, and you can get help, and it doesn't make you any less of a person, any less of a woman, any less of a man. You're just a person who needs help, right? So anyway,
weird.
I saw something on your Instagram and I was just wondering. So I saw you posted the Chelsea lineup today before the game.
Yes.
And as a fellow Chelsea fan, I just wanted to know, are you like a serious soccer fan? Or one of those where you just post the lineup just so they see that, this one, maybe she knows some soccer,
I'm actually a serious Chelsea fan.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
once had a fight with a friend. With soccer, I get so emotional. Soccer.
Oh, yes.
I get so emotional. And especially with Manchester United fans. Oof. When I start having a conversation, I get so angry. Some friendships can even end for a week.
Yeah, we can't be friends anymore.
Just for 1 week, we pause our friendships, especially when we have those Arsenal versus Chelsea matches. We pause those relationships.
Just don't talk to me. For the sake of our relationship, don't talk to me. Don't write about me on your status, okay? We'll talk about this when the game is over. Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not happy with the score. Today we had
a draw of all things. But anyways, it's better than a loss, I guess. What can we do?
True.
All right, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. So I have a couple of fun questions for you. And the only rule that is here for this set of questions is that you have to answer within 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. No
do you
pressure.
Think you can do that? Plenty of pressure. We apply pressure always.
I think I can do it.
All right. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, so first question. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
All right. And what's your favorite song to listen to when you're in your fields? 2 a.m., everybody's sleeping, you're just there thinking about life.
I usually think about love.
Yes.
But anything to do with Sam Smith.
All right. Anything to do with Sam Smith. So there's the Sam Smith people, then there's the Drake people. I'm personally one of those Drake people, just saying. So, how many kids do you want to have?
I want to have 3. The first 2 have to be twins, though.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay. And from those 3, would you rather have all boys or all girls?
All girls.
All right. What's your dream travel destination?
Greece.
Such a beautiful place. Anyways, let me get out of that. And the last question is, what is your favorite fast food restaurant?
It has to be Chicken Inn, hey? What can I do?
The girls with vision. This is how we know you have vision for your life. When you make such wise choices, then you know that the future of the country is in good hands. very good hands.
It's safe. The future is safe. Don't worry. I got you guys.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, thank you so much, Tanatswa, for joining us today. It was such a pleasure having you and learning from you and just having fun with you. You're such an amazing spirit. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have any closing remarks for our listeners?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say that do not be afraid to ask for help. It's okay not to be okay. There are two great organizations that you can approach if you ever want to talk. The first one is Friendship Bench. The second one is Phoebe. They are amazing. If you have any problems, you can get free online services from them. The information is on my Instagram page and also on my Twitter page at Tana_Chikaura. So never be afraid to talk about how you're feeling. It's okay not to be okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Tana. And thank you so much to all you who are listening. Until next time, see ya.